Dragon Ball Legends is having its weekly update today, which means Renzi is doing data mining. So a data mine video will be accompanying today's two most recent videos as well.
I mean, to be honest, this really is one of the worst Zenkais that they've ever made. It was completely unnecessary, and it really is just going to be one of the worst ever. Broly Fury's Zenkai Awakening is coming. His unique rising power will now activate against all Tag Saiyan enemies. Enjoy improved damage inflicted buffs, damage received up attribute downgrades to enemies, and other various powered up abilities. And we actually have kind of a different on the Japanese Twitter account. They say this, basically the same thing. Enemy battle members targeted by the unique ability increasing power are now Tag Saiyan, making it even easier to use. Various abilities such as own damage up performance and damage up effect to enemies are being enhanced. So we have this right here, right? So this is basically the entire tag of Sagas from the movies. And you can see right here, obviously, you want Zenkai 7 Gogeta on there. Although his Zenkai ability does not buff the Sagas from the movies tag, his Z ability does. So honestly, if you put these two head to head, the Fury Broly and the Zenkai Gogeta, Gogeta's gonna win every single time. He's just gonna win every single time. There's no way that this Broly's gonna replace him at all. And even if you don't have him, let's say you don't have Gogeta 7 stars, or you just don't want to, commit the 7,000 crystals to him, you still have this Frieza. You still have him, and he's still he's a very good unit. And there's no way people are gonna choose this Broly over this Frieza. There's no way. And it should go without saying, they don't make free-to-play units good. They make them okay, but they definitely don't become, meta-breaking units. That's just never, ever, ever going to happen. I mean, we do have a couple, but that's because, they were Zenkais. If they're not Zenkai, then they're not. I mean, this guy, he's been needing one for a long time. He's barely getting it, but we already have this guy to take a spot. For Legends Road, they got the Zenkai with, for Legends Road with Goku and that. But that's because they didn't even have a Zenkai unit. They didn't even have a good unit to begin with. So, of course, that's going to be meta breaking. But this isn't even going to be meta breaking at all. People are only going to be using him for his Zenkai ability as bench. Nobody's going to be using him like in a PvP match at all. Maybe a couple of times here and there. But if you have this guy 7 stars and this guy 7 stars, you're definitely going to pick Frieza. Even if this guy's Zenkai Awakened, you're still going to choose Frieza over him because he's a free-to-play unit. You can't be expecting, a huge damage dealer. He's not going to be that a damage dealer at all. He's going to be just one of the worst. So for red, you have two options: Zenkai 7 Gogeta or Frieza. For your purples, you have this right here, this Trunks right here. You also have Bojack as well. Maybe even this Cooler right here also, but typically you would just want this Trunks right here and the Bojack. Now for your yellows, you basically can choose between the Gogeta. If you don't have Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, well, you can go for this Broly right here. Now let's say you don't have either of those, you basically can go for this guy right here, EX Janemba. But other than that, you can look right here and you can see Turles and Broly for your yellows. So you can have them as your yellows, Broly and Turles as your yellows. So that's yellow covered right there. And now if we look, so we have red covered, purple colored, yellow covered. What about green? Well, you obviously have this guy. He has his Zenkai Awaken. So you can Zenkai Awaken him and boom, that's green covered. Now, anybody else, really nobody else here can take his spot. I mean, I guess you could say this Gogeta, but it seems like he wouldn't really function on there. And you already do have this Super Saiyan Goku and this new Metal Cooler. So you have basically 3 greens that you can put a Zenkai unit and then 2 newer units as well. Now we need, what else? What are the colors? So we need a blue. So we have red, yellow, green, and purple covered. But now we need a blue. Who would you use as your blue? Now this, I see a lot of people using this Vegeta. You can use him, but he's definitely falling down if you don't have him start up. Now, if we look over here, obviously the Broly. You have Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and then you have Broly and Chilai. So this team, you have an alternative option. If you weren't fortunate enough to pull, or to pull Frieza right here, or to Zenkai Gogeta right here, then you can use Broly. But as soon as you Zenkai Gogeta, or as soon as you pull Frieza, you're gonna abandon this guy. Just don't use him. He's gonna be trash. This was a Zenkai the team didn't need. If anything, what the team needed was another yellow. because you have this guy who's going to be extremely rare to pull, right? Then you have this guy who pretty much no one pulled on here for because people called it bait. And people just, Saga Sword movies didn't have anything, so there was pretty much no point on summoning on his banner because all the other units were old, so there was, pretty much no point summoning on it. But we can see a Zenkai Awaken for this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another tweet from Legends today describing how they're going to Zenkai Awaken this guy. So hopefully they're going to Zenkai Awaken this guy, and he's going to be forgotten. I mean, free-to-play units, they're forgotten a lot more. I've used to see this guy, like the first week his event got released, it was insane seeing him. Like, you saw him pretty much every single match in PvP. And then once he got to 14 stars, you saw him even more. But now, like 2 weeks later, or a week, I don't know how long it's been already, I don't even see him anymore. I legit don't even see him anymore. And if I do, he's only playing bench. So that's pretty much just going to be this guy's role. You're not going to be using him at all. You're not going to be using him at all. He's just going to be strictly bench. You might use him a few times here and there, but you're always going to choose this guy over him or this guy over him.